What were you doing?
keep my family safe
Right?
because it was chaos.
Yeah.
And my wife, my sister-in-law, all the others, because we are a bunch of doctors in the house, more or less. They all went through the different hospitals to help.
Right.
I remained for the next weeks watching the kids
Okay.
and making sure everybody was safe because I knew with my specialty there would become a time where there would come a time where rehab would be the
You
time.
would, you would
So
be needed.
I
Yes.
made that choice.
Right.
I'm not gonna cut legs as a surgeon.
Right.
I'd rather be
Right.
waiting for everybody to
And do the rehab.
and do the rehab
Yeah.
part. And indeed, when the time came, I
Right.
was there.
Yes.
And that what brought me to CAP, to the spinal cord unit.
Right.
And
Right.
for the next 5 years,
Yes.
I would be dealing with the patients,
Right.
survivors from the earthquake.
Mm-hmm.
And yesterday actually, I received a call from one of them that survived, and that was even inviting me to his wedding. In
Samuel, that you just
June.
remember.
Samuel,
Wow.
really a
Beautiful
survivor, a
story.
hero.
Yeah. Yeah.
That guy broke his neck.
Yes.
He almost died.
Yes.
I myself thought that he would die.
Right.
He had so many complications.
Right.
Right now, he's getting there.
And it's a testimony to Samuel and his resilience, as you said, but also to the Haitian medical support that he got to take him through.
Indeed.
There's a big investment that has to be made in long-term patients who
Indeed.
have disabilities or are acute. So that's a great story in itself.
So, indeed, to answer your question, big steps had been made.
Right.
Have been made.
Right.
But there are so many more steps that needs to be
Yeah.
achieved.
The earthquake leveraged some awareness and some motivation and some resources. One of the good things that came
Definitely.
out. The rehab disability sector, it seems to me a very stressful area for the support people, for physicians, nurses, physical therapists, et cetera, et cetera. Do you find that working in that is more stressful than other areas of medicine, and how do you deal with that?
Since I'm in it, I find it stressful, but I think every specialty has its
Right.
impact on us. My wife is an anesthesiologist. She started to grow gray hair because of that
Yeah.
specialty.
Yes. What
Every-
hospital is she at?
She's everywhere.
Oh, she was
Wherever she
contracted.
gets called.
Wow.
So all the specialties come with their impact.
Right.
A load of stress.
Right.
Indeed, rehab, it has a lot.
Yes. You
It
see
weighs.
people who are suffering.
Yes,
and it
the
takes-
suffering, you're part of it.
Yes.
You face it day to day.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
the surgeon, he comes, he fixes you, and he leaves.
Right.
But in the rehab, you have to be there, and you face his fear, you face the family's fear,
Right.
and you get a chance to live the stress
Yes.
with the family.
Yeah.
And that's what guided me
Right.
into my choice
Okay.
to let go of the surgery and
Right.
more rehab. I think I'm more
The more difficult
useful.
path. Yeah.
I'm more useful
Right.
in understanding and accompanying people with
Right.
difficult times.
Do you still have a private practice or work at hospitals at all, or is this like
Not really.
almost full time now?
It's more or less full
Yeah.
time. I spend like 1 hour in my private practice. If there are people, yes,
Yeah.
I see them.
Right.
I don't do surgery no more, but
Right.
I still consult.
Right.
But since I'm a sports trauma expert also,
Ah.
but
Yes.
the big thing for me now is
Yes.
rehab and
Yeah.
nursing.
Sports trauma. Are you administering to some of the Haitian teams, or
Not yet, but I
it
have the
could be-
training.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have the
Ben,
training.
of course, is involved in the volleyball. You
Yes.
must. You've got to take care of the soccer or something like that. Yeah.
There are people covering.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I want to ask you, Do you consider Haiti a country with a disability?
Yes and no. With a disability, because the path is never easy for a country like Haiti. Related to the history, related to where we came from, what we dared achieve, related to our multi-ethnic association that created that nation, related to the uh, geographical structure
Right.
that made us. If you look at the island,
Yes.
the flat part is in the air. The rocky mountains are on our side.
80% mountains, yes.
So the difficulties,
Yes.
you could say yes, we're partly
Yes.
disabled.
Yeah.
But what doesn't kill you make you stronger. So we have other richness, other beauties, other strength
Right.
still yet to get discovered, still yet to, we need to learn how to use them.
Liberate them.
Yes. It's a, we are a young nation, I think. 200 years, it's not a big deal. We've seen, yeah, compared to
Yeah.
the others. So we're still trying to express as a nation.
Right. So, in the same vein, do you think that Haiti is discriminated against by other nations internationally?
Yes. At some levels, yes. Indeed. Just the press. At some point, you only see Haiti on the news when it's not working.
Political turmoil,
When it's,
hurricanes,
yeah,
the bad news.
they don't want to show
Right.
necessarily all your beauties.
Right.
When it's hot, when people are dying, when people are crushed,
Yeah.
that's what you see on the news, usually. But it's not only that.
Right.
People die everywhere.
Right.
People die, people get robbed, people get killed.
Yes.
On a daily basis,
Yes.
everywhere. Even in the States, in Canada,
Well.
everywhere. But that's the main attraction.
Right.
Sometimes
Human nature is
Yeah.
like that.
looking for the scoop.
Yeah.
We have other things to offer.
And you're starting to express them and market them. I mean, the tourism marketing has taken off quite a bit.
And
You see it advertised in North American papers, destinations.
we got
The
that
new
on the map.
Decameron, which is where Club Indigo was, is quite a big project.
Yes.
New hotels, I think, in Port-au-Prince.
I think the past lady that was Minister of the Tourism,
Yes.
I really love what she did.
Right.
She accomplished quite a
Right.
bit in 5
Right.
years.
Yeah.
And we are back on the map.
Yes.
So people are coming, tourism is starting to grow back. It's all good.
Yeah. I hope that in the documentation that we're trying to do, that we're going to be able to show some of the positive sides in the disability sector, improvements and changes, and the hope for the population that's disabled. What do you think are the biggest advances in that sector since the earthquake, and what is maybe the biggest need either the government has to provide or society has to provide?
Can you rephrase that?
So, what are the major areas of progress in physical medicine rehab for the disability sector since the earthquake? You mentioned the raising of awareness. Are there more?
The law.
The law,
The law.
more facilities, more.
More facilities. And what would I say? Since the earthquake destroyed all the buildings,
Right.
they all needed to be rebuilt. Okay, so accessibility
Yes.
is a big point also that they need to keep up.
Yes.
So
Big hill.
so they need to keep up with implementing example, the government, when they buy buses or when we receive a load of buses,
Yeah.
reserve 5 or 10 for the handicap.
Right.
Make sure that the ramps are there,
Right.
working.
Right. Right.
Leave the curbs
Right.
for a space for them to access.
Right.
Put the itinerary in a way that they can go and do what they need to do
Right.
in the town.
Right.
Because when you go elsewhere, that's how it's done.
Yes. Yes.
We are part of the society.
And
Why-
immobility is such a big
That's-
problem.
that's
with
what
somebody in a
kills you.
wheelchair or crutches or who's invalid. Yes. Yeah.
So that's why the difference between handicap and incapacity.
Yes.
You have the, sorry.
It's okay.
We have the disability, but if you live in a place where everything is turned toward you,
Right.
you function like everybody else.
Exactly.
So it's your environment
Yes.
that gives you that handicap.
Which seems to me what you're trying to create here.
Indeed.
That accessibility for everyone and they're all equal in terms of their environment and their
That's the idea.
facilities.
That's the idea.
Yeah, that's great. Dr. Maurice Fritz, thank you so much. That's. Is there anything that you'd like to add on this subject right now, or regarding your plans and just in closing?
It's a general point. All nations have their difficulties. I think our society, we need to sit down
Right.
and see what are we doing wrong, what are our weaknesses, what is our strength, and see what kind of men we want to be, what kind of nation
Right.
we want to be, and from there,
Right. Forward. Maybe you're
That's my
needed in
wish.
politics.
I stay out of that.
Talk about stress. Talk about stress. That's fantastic.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Eric.
Thanks, Scott.